Good morning and
Good
welcome
morning.
to Hometown Highlights. Today we have a special guest with us today, and this person is what a lot of us needs. He's a computer expert, and he is Mr. Marvin Travis.
Good
And
morning.
so it's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Well, well, I know that in our community we have a lot of need for computer experts. So I want to give you the opportunity to tell us about what wonderful things that you can do for others. And so I know that you're from Bartow, right?
No, Winter Haven.
Winter Haven. Okay, so close by. So tell us about your services.
Well, my services, I'm a full service computer company. I can do everything on a PC from custom build to train to troubleshoot. My specialties include sales, upgrades, service repairs, and customized training.
Now, Mr. Travis, you just spilled off a whole lot of terms, and I'm familiar with some of them, but our audience may not be familiar with all of them. And so I want you to kind of break it down to us so that we can understand. Now, first of all, one of our community people recommended you for Hometown Highlights because you had done a phenomenal job, and he was just really, really impressed with what you do. And so he may know a little bit about computers, but many of us know that if when we sit down, we want it to work. We want it to do exactly what we thought it should do. And so tell us about it. Just start with one thing, like, okay, can you do computer repair?
Yes, I can.
And so what are some of the problems are things that you've encountered that people are having trouble with that you might have to repair?
Well, okay, a typical problem that I run into on a regular basis is people sit down and they turn their computer on and it says no operating system or no boot files. That's a typical thing, and it could be anything as simple as the master boot record, which is the main boot file, is corrupted. It could be a virus, or it could just simply be that the hard drive has failed at the first sector, which is sector 0. Another problem that you run into is you go to launch a program and it gives you an error message. Program not found, program not available. These are generally software issues, and they can be as simple as just changing a few settings or as complicated as reinstalling the program. Another problem that you run into is you go to print something and nothing happens. It could be that your driver has become corrupted. It could be that your driver got erased. So a lot of times you have to reinstall the device driver, which is also a common problem. A lot of operating systems and viruses can creep in. The most important thing is that you be sure that your data is backed up, because any of these problems could result in a loss of data if you're not prepared for them. One of the things that I focus on heavily is making sure that your data is constantly backed up and up to date. Hardware problems can happen that can result in data loss if you're not prepared for them.
So you say backing up our data.
Yes.
I guess most recently, I had a person who was supposed to do something for me, and he says, I've lost all my data. And so I'm just like really panicking. From your recommendations, where should they back their data up?
Well, the easiest solution is to have a USB flash drive. There's a variety of USB flash drives, different name brands, different sizes. Usually anywhere from a 32 gig to a 64 gig is sufficient for backing up. There's also the option to back up into the clouds. You have OneDrive, you have Google Drive. That can be a little bit more complex, and if you're unable to access the internet, you may not be able to retrieve those files or upload those files. So having internet access is one of the things that makes that more complicated than plugging in a USB drive into a USB port. One of the most important things to remember is if you think your data is lost, it may not necessarily be. That's particularly true if your program or if your computer doesn't boot. A lot of times, as we mentioned a few minutes ago about the master boot record becoming corrupted, 9 times out of 10 the data is still going to be there, and there are ways to retrieve it. So the most important thing that you should do is when you think there's a problem, rather than try to correct it yourself, call someone like myself, because the next few steps are the critical to actually retrieving the data or actually losing the data.
Well, see, I can tell that you already know a whole lot. So, and a lot of us don't know a whole lot. And so we just panic and think, oh, it's over. I've lost everything. And we just get so excited because we are, at a quandary of what to do next. And many of us don't know who to call upon and where to go and all of that. And, with the way that the internet is going now, people are always constantly trying to get into your computer, and they do get in, and they give you viruses, and you got to have virus protection and all of that. And so I know that it's important to understand how people try to enter your computer.
Yes.
and do those things, and the importance of virus protection. So I'm sure that you cover all of that. Now, and I know that I like to have a whole lot of questions because I'm just like always trying to figure something out myself.
Absolutely.
And so but I want to give you this opportunity. I wanted to make the community aware of your services, but I want to give you the opportunity to tell the community what you can do for them, or how to contact you, or because I could go on and on because I got some questions right now, but I won't go into all of those.
Okay.
But you just tell us a little bit more about what you can do in easy terms so
Okay.
that they'll understand. Okay.
All right. Well, my name is Marvin Travis. My telephone number is area code 863-332-4344. Or you can reach me by email at marvinstravis@gmail.com. I offer a wide variety of services. The easiest thing for me to be able to do is to come out and give you an overall assessment of what needs to be done, a plan of action for how we can accomplish it, and then to move forward from there. I have 30 plus years in the industry, and right now the biggest project that I'm working on is helping people make the transition from Windows 10 to Windows 11. Windows 11 is a very nice, clean operating system. It is the best one that Microsoft has come out so far, but the transition from 10 to 11 is very complex, but it's not impossible to achieve. You just have to have certain things in line before you make the transition. And now is the time to start preparing, because everybody will eventually at some point come to the place where they have to make the transition from 10 to 11. But due to the complexity of it, the sooner you get started, the better and the easier it will be. And the most cost-effective options can be determined right now while there's still time.
That sounds great, Mr. Travis, because I just recently heard about us moving from 10 to 11, and I know that some of us still working on 8. So I know that we should be aware that transitioning is happening, and in order for us to keep up with it and have our machines functional, we must get them serviced. We must have somebody look at them, and sometimes buying a whole new computer is not the solution when you have something that works well. It just need a little upgrade. So I hope that our audience has gotten some from this talk, and we thank Mr. Maddock for coming and bringing you as a recommendation, because he knows the importance of having a computer that functions and where you can go for help if you need help. And so I hope that our audience will contact you if they need to. Know that help is available, and you don't just have to sit on a machine that doesn't work.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's been my pleasure.
Okay. Hi, I just want to take this moment to congratulate all the winners you will see for our pumpkin decorating contest, which was part of our Fall Treasures. Kids, you did a fantastic job. Now, so that was our fall activity. So I want to also tell you about our Christmas activity, but it has to be completed by December 1st. So we have these miniature trees available in the library. So if you want to decorate a tree, whichever way you want, it can be a theme from a book like Pink Delicious or whatever, or Fancy Nancy or The Grinch. You choose how you want to decorate your tree, and they will be displayed in the library from December the 1st to December the 17th, so you can take it home in time for Christmas. But we want to display your tree in the library, so come by, pick up a free tree, and decorate it, and enter the Christmas tree decorating contest. And all trees are due by December the 1st, and prizes will be awarded on December the 3rd. So pick up your tree, and we're so excited about all the creative kids we have here in Fort Meade. Thank you.